everybody. My name is Lydia McKinney.
My name is Tavi.
Hi, I'm Michael.
So we are the creators, artistic, and choreographers for this project, this amazing project. And we're definitely excited to get ready to share this with you all and, give you a little bit behind the scenes of what it took to build it, just some of the things of like coming up with the costumes, choreography, finding locations. It'll be in this video right here.
Black to me signifies exactly what the title says, Black. Every aspect of that, not just from a physical form, but also from a very mental and emotional aspect as well. Being that it highlights and tells the stories of not just us as Black men, but of Black people in general and the things that we have endured for centuries since we have been here in the United States, and the emotional toll that it has caused on us and the generations and descendants since then. And yeah, it ultimately brings us back around to understanding ourselves, bringing us back into our light that we never lost. We may have forgotten that it was there, but really going through the trials and the tribulations, but ultimately coming back down to the end, which is we are powerful beings, we are the light, and taking that light and allowing that light to then resonate and transcend from not just one consciousness, but all consciousness across the Black spectrum. The title of my project is called Rooted. And it tells the story of a man, Black man specifically, coming back to his sense of groundedness. Starting off being very, I don't want to necessarily say lost, but let's say lost. And this is more so speaking from a conscious standpoint, mentally. And throughout the course of the work, he ultimately comes back to his sense of groundedness, being rooted, back to his conscious self, being very aware of who he is, understanding more about himself and accepting and acknowledging that. And throughout this, there will be very acting-based movement, but there will also be a lot of choreography as well. And yeah, it's a very personal project because the story really highlights me and just my current life right now, just kind of how I am coming more into myself and becoming more grounded within me. And it allows me to be able to use my art and my voice and tell my story in my way that's best for me, but also understanding and realizing that there is someone else out there who may feel the exact same way. So even though it's my story, it's technically a story for others. So that's a good synopsis of what Rooted is about. And I can't wait for you guys to check it out.
So mine is entitled, well, originally it was titled Black Magic, and the reason why I wanted to choose that, just to tell that story, is because we all have something inside of us that makes us gifted and magical, and there's been certain experience that we've had where someone has tried to dim it or take that away, and the feeling is not good. So this is to inspire you to keep actively accepting it, but also thriving in it and believing in it, and just showing the world what it is to be magical. We have people that, like I mentioned, would try to cast us out, and that's, to me, something that's important to keep talking about, so people who are the ones who feel this way can have something to be inspired and filled and have something that they can identify with. And that's the flow that I would like to go with it, while telling also us the message of being proud of who you are and where you've come from and who has, you know, paved the way for us artists, us blacks and us gays. Just paying homage and keeping that fire lit to then pass down the magic to, like Lanier said, to future generations, for them to go back and look at pieces of art.
Mine is called The Block, but it's basically living a life on the edge. The rebellious one, the one who has sense but chooses to still make his own decisions, like whether they're right or wrong, and to figure out life for herself. So within those stories, there are a series of events that happens, and as he is on the block, he encounters a spirit of some sort that kind of like leads him down the wrong path. And within that leading down the wrong path, he ends up discovering himself. You have good and you have bad. You have right and you have wrong. All of those are perceptions, but whatever it is cause and effect. There's action because there was an action. There was a reaction because of that action, and because of that action, there was a reaction. Cause and effect. So because, like my cousin used to say, because you did this, this happened. So he made that choice, and it took him down a dark path. But going down the dark path, he found himself and became illuminated. So when he became illuminated, the people that were on the block with him, he thought they had these like, this is a very spiritual film, by the way, whether we go into detail about it or not. But then individuals on the block that's with him, they don't look like angels. They don't look like anything. They look like the chaos is going on in the world, because they represent all different forms that are in our neighborhoods. And so when he goes down that dark place, he ends up being awakened by this like very, very feminine energy, bringing him to a different level of consciousness. The people that were on the block with him are now in a trance, and they are now on a one accord. So they basically like have the same not the same viewpoints, but they're on the same team, and they're cohesive. They're vibrating on the same level, and they're moving a little bit differently than how they were on the block. So this will be the underworld.